If you're new, subscribe. You don't want to miss this one. Today's case? Trust me, it gets dark. Let's get into it. Freeze. Someone's in the back, and I'm already gone, I'm out. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Police are in the middle of hunting down a wanted serial killer living inside the very van where he killed his latest victim. Go back over there. Oh, what's that? What's that smell? 24 hours before this confrontation, officers discover a brutalized body of a woman with seemingly no evidence left behind that could connect anyone to the case. The victim is still unidentified, and we're taking a shot in the dark. Maybe I've seen her. Everybody's seen him around, but nobody really knows him as far as I know. When I found out Michelle was dead, dog, and you can ask my boss, man, it had killed me. But over the following day, small clues would start surfacing, revealing additional victims, going as far back as 4 decades, eventually leading to one of the longest active serial killers in Florida's history. There's the back piece. This is our van. He made a mistake. I know I didn't do this. Oh, that come on now. I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that there are bodies out there attached to him that either haven't been found or gone. This guy cannot be on the street. He has to go away or somebody else could get hurt. It's around 2 p.m. in Marathon, Florida, near Vodka Bridge. Families enjoy a quiet afternoon until just off the side of the road, a fisherman notices a strong, overwhelming odor. As he steps closer, he sees something so gruesome, he immediately calls 911. Within moments, Florida officers arrive, and it wouldn't be long before the entire lake area would need to be evacuated. Where's she at? 5112 rigger setting. Got here. Jesus Christ. On the ground lies an unidentified woman, unclothed and already beginning to stiffen. For what officers can tell, she's been here for several hours. The current Vodka Bridge is exceptionally strong with a history of fatal accidental drownings. At first, officers believed this could be another one of those cases. But as they flip her over, that assumption would quickly fade. We'll move her a little bit, and then Edie, if you want to take your pictures as we're rolling so that if there's anything that falls or moves, because when I'm looking at this stick right here. Okay, you got a hand. Looks like she was dragged by this hand. Oh, look at that. Yep. Did you see that? Looks around the neck. Right around the neck. MHM. Oh, look at the side of her head. What do you see? You got blood. You got scrapes all over the back. I'm calling a call document. As they examine the body closer, they notice strangulation marks on her neck, blood, and signs of trauma, all pointing to a violent assault. With a potential homicide on their hands, officers call on the on-duty detective, while others begin evacuating the area immediately. Before the detective arrives, officers at the scene continue trying to identify the victim, only to realize it won't be that simple. Anybody recognize her? Yeah, she did. Yeah, nope. Doesn't appear to be a homeless because she's well kept. She's groomed. I just don't see the clothes. You know what I'm saying? It's too something there. This is all the officers know about the woman. No clothing, no ID, nothing to go off of. But not for long, as the on-duty detective soon arrives. Matt Pitcher is a seasoned undercover detective. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to take down the town's most dangerous killer. Using a multi-hour interview with Pitcher, we'll break down exactly what he was thinking and the complex forensic methods used to crack a near-perfect homicide. I do not have good luck at Thanksgiving time. It just never seemed to work out for me. And so, even coming into this, everybody was kind of joking, be prepared for that call. And so, I got the call, and then it's kind of evaluating, well, you put out a little bit of hope that, well, maybe it was just a natural death. And I still remember I started my captain trying to figure out what's going on. She said, yeah, it's a naked female. And the minute she said that, I was like, well, this isn't going to be a natural death, Detective Matt Pitcher and Detective Rosa Diovani. This is US 1 heading up that way. Entrance into this little gravel area from US 1 is down there. If you pan down here at the start of what looks to be a Red Bull can, there are tire tracks leading back, as well as tire tracks on this side. We have a broken branch that's touching the ground, pulled hair right here. And if you come up at about 10 o'clock into a wooded area about 10 m away, the female victim 2 to 3 feet in front of that is another small chunk of hair. It looks like there is some bleeding in the area of the easiest way to come back would be along there. Suspecting that that's where the suspect went back, we're going to go around another way. A blur of evidence. For the first time, the pieces start to come together. As Pitcher walks along the gravel road, just off the highway, he spots fresh tire marks, evidence the suspect had been here not long ago. A few feet away, strands of the victim's hair lie scattered, suggesting she was dragged from the road into the forest. Further in, there are clear signs of disturbance. Damaged plants, broken branches, indicating the suspect's vehicle was likely damaged as it sped away, possibly right after dumping the body. And then something far more significant catches his eye. So, there were a bunch of small trees, that kind of thing. You have this dirt road, but then as I'm walking along to the path, that's the first thing that struck me was so there's a little tree and it kind of had, how you can tell when something's freshly broken, right? The limb hasn't died or anything like that. We're talking about a tree and it was just kind of hanging there. And so that got me looking at it, and then sure enough, what looked to be car parts broken off right underneath it, sitting on the ground right there. And that's kind of one of those HM, could this be, the suspect vehicle? But even with this small breakthrough, Pitcher still hasn't uncovered the most critical piece of the puzzle. One that suggests this is far from an isolated incident. With the scene locked down and the victim transported for autopsy, investigators are left with two critical questions. Who is the victim and who is her attacker? To answer the first, Detective Pitcher comes up with a plan. Yeah, I'm kind of going through things and basically my thought then, especially keep in mind, like I said earlier, this is right coming into Thanksgiving, right? Everything is about to get slammed. Where we live, this is a huge tourist spot. So I was concerned that, we could lose video evidence that might be in the area. Talked to my captain, and I showed the captain to the car part and all that. And I said, all right, I'm leaving the scene and I'm about to start hitting every business, starting with the bars in the area, and at least get the marks so that they don't get rid of evidence on us. At Pitcher's request, officers go from business to business, searching for any sign of the suspect's vehicle. One missing a black 3x8 piece of bumper and showing damage consistent with hitting branches, as well as any indication of a possible daylight abduction. But with no clear timeline for when the murder occurred, the search could take anywhere from hours to days. So Pitcher splits his efforts, directing some officers to focus on the second piece of the puzzle, identifying the victim. He sends them to local businesses, hoping that someone might recognize her. But that's when an unexpected problem emerges. How are you? Hey, how you doing? I'm Detective Brady. This is Detective Bunce. We're part of the homicide investigations going on. I don't know if you've heard what's going on. Yeah, and we don't know whether the victim is still unidentified, and we're taking a shot in the dark, and maybe if she might have been a patron here. So if it's a graphic photo, but we're gonna ask if you maybe have seen her or a couple bartenders. I'll take a look. I've been here the last few nights since Wednesday. So, some pictures. I haven't seen anybody like that. No. Okay. Do you think you're maybe a bartender? Or, they probably wouldn't want knowing they're a bit on the skater side. With the victim still unidentified and no sign of the suspect's vehicle, officers are at a loss. With every passing hour, the killer edges closer to vanishing for good, along with any chance of solving the case. But just as leads begin to run dry, one bartender would step forward, giving them their first major lead. How you doing, Chris? Hey, how are you? We're going to your phone number, a 917. And are you willing to look at the photo of the victim and see if you might know her, or it's up to you. Okay, all right. There's this lady here. You might be able to recognize her. Yes. Okay. Do you know her name? Oh, perhaps. Does she drive a car? She live anything where we can try and track down. We don't know who she is. So, it's very important. We're trying to find out who she is. I can't think of it. Okay, but for sure, yes, I know exactly who she is. Okay, definitely. Although the bartender doesn't remember the woman's name, she recalls seeing her multiple times, suggesting she's likely local. And then another bartender approaches. She recognizes the victim, too, but still can't provide a name. However, she remembers something else. She had seen the woman working at the Sunset Grill restaurant just a few miles away. With this new information, officers quickly wrap up and rush to the restaurant, realizing they may be moments away from answering one of the cast's biggest questions. How are you? Hi, I'm Stephanie. Detective Rosa Durrani. The reason that I'm asking, is she ever worked for you? Oh, she looks familiar. Yes. Yes, she did. Yes. And I try to help her. I know. What do you mean you try to help her? Well, when she first moved here, she worked for us, and, and that was more. I have all the dates. That would be great. And I feel so bad about what happened to her, because I really officers have a name, 51-year-old Michelle. But when detectives check for a missing persons report, they find nothing, leading them to assume the victim has no close family. That is until her employer reveals something that makes her death even more tragic. She told me, she was from Wisconsin or Min, Wisconsin. I have all her info where she was from, I think. And she had a family. I knew she had children and ex-husband. She didn't have custody. She's separate children, but she told me she used to be like a therapist too. And she goes, I know better. I shouldn't be taking these pillows and stuff. And I said, well, you need to get straightened up because I'm going to have to let you go. But she did talk always. I don't know her children. I never met her, but she always talked about them. I don't know how old they were. She always talked about going back. I know her children must be devastated. If you talk to her kids or anything, just tell them that, she was a wonder. She had a good heart. She did. That's basically what we're trying to get for her kids, She did. And I always thought that too. I thought, God, I wish her kids knew that I really liked. Thanks to her employer, officers are able to get into contact with several of Michelle's family members in Janesville, Wisconsin. All of them describe her the same way, kind of the good heart. But after moving to Florida, she lost contact with them. This information is immediately relayed to Detective Pitcher, who now has one question left to answer. Who is her killer? And that answer may be closer than they think. That time, Captain says, all right, I'm going to send a picture of this car part to a buddy of mine who's in narcotics. He is extremely good at cars. She literally sends him this little bit of what turned out to be a bit of fender. He comes back. First thing, he sends a text. All right, it's going to be from a van, full-size van like this. Within 15 minutes of that, he sent a picture and says it's going to be this type of van. That picture he sent actually ended up to even be the exact same color. Everything is the van is a suspect van, like to the T. But in my mind, I'm thinking, number one, what 50% chance it's actually going to be the suspect vehicle? Being able to match that to vehicle, probably not going to happen. Naturally, Detective Pitcher is skeptical, but he still relays this information to officers combing through CCTV footage. And to his complete surprise, after 6 hours of finding nothing of value, they're about to stumble upon something big. I don't know how to download it from the system, but he's fixing to go past here. In just a minute. Need anything else for us? No, bro. I'm just going to find this vehicle and then try to clip this. I found him. He's right here. Office Max is a ripoff. Right there. At last, police spot what they believe to be the suspect's vehicle. A black and silver Dodge conversion van visibly damaged with pieces missing. And once they run its license plate, detectives can begin reconstructing the killer's movements piece by piece. He's going to go by, for there he goes. Right there. Is it? Yep. 1207. He will let you. Yeah, that's the van right there. There it is. There it is. Yeah. All right. 1240. He hasn't stopped the moon. 12,239. What we get from Alfredo? Alfredo was a 12:08:23. So that's 4 minutes and 17 seconds. You got to stop somewhere quick. 4 minutes, 17 seconds. Okay, that's sitting in traffic for 4 minutes. So where can he stop between Fredo? Trade winds. Or if he came in here. As officers piece together the van's path across town, it suddenly disappears somewhere near Kmart Plaza on US Highway 1, just over 3 miles from where the body was found. While officers search for additional camera angles around the last known location, investigators run the van's registration. And that's when they discover something deeply concerning. The van belongs to 58-year-old Stephen Matthew Wolf, a man with a long and serious criminal history. Obviously, the one thing I can't remember if it was a juvenile record that was sealed and they had to go a little bit further to find it out, or but he had a murder at a young age. So immediately, I have someone getting on the phone for me and contacting that police department. Let's get details on this and fast. And it was this 90-year-old man that he and a couple of his friends robbed, and he decided to kill him. So the minute you find stuff like that out, you're like, all right, you're building those building blocks, right? You're like, okay, we're on the right path here. This is most likely our guy. Decades earlier, in 1976, Wolf was convicted of a homicide in Boise, Idaho. At 15 years old, he and 3 others murdered a 78-year-old man named Enrico Flori, a robbery-motivated killing that landed him 15 years in prison. The case gained nationwide attention when in 1977, Stephen escaped from the Ada County Jail, sawing through a bar on the 4th floor and climbing down using bed sheets and conduit. He remained on the run for 6 days before being recaptured. As Pitcher digs deeper, they uncover even more disturbing details. A prior diagnosis of psychopathy, a history of animal cruelty, and long-term drug use, raising the question of whether he should ever have been released. With these findings, Pitcher realizes he's looking for someone with a history of extreme violence, a proven capacity to evade justice, and potentially a serial killer. By midnight, the van still hasn't reappeared on CCTV, suggesting it's still somewhere near the cluster of fast food restaurants. Unwilling to waste any more time, Pitcher, alongside a dozen deputies from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, heads out to search the area. And as they begin to look for their suspect, something inexplicable happens. When the captain were going out to scout in this parking lot, you're doing a lot of this just hoping and, looking for that needle on haystack. But most likely, the person's on a bounce pretty quickly and get out of town. So, while you're hoping, it's not great. And she's driving, keep in mind, on the opposite side of the road. So, like she had to see it from a long ways away. And according to my captain Lieutenant said a prayer, and the minute she stopped the prayer, looked off to her left where there was a Kmart and a McDonald's, and sitting just right by the McDonald's was the van. And she starts yelling, "There's the van, there's the van." Of course, they almost wreck the car. But they get into a parking lot, sit tight for a second. I get over there, make contact, and go from there. To Pitcher's surprise, they spot it. The black and silver van parked between a Winn-Dixie and a McDonald's. Approaching from multiple directions, officers surround the parking lot, carefully ensuring no bystanders are in harm's way, with Pitcher meticulously guiding the operation. And as officers inch closer, they brace themselves, knowing a dangerous killer could lash out at any second. Do we want me to give him verbal commands? Yeah, windows down here. Okay, Caleb, go. You gonna get this? Oh, and I got it. Monroe County Sheriff's Office. County Sheriff's Office. Come up with your hands up. Sheriff's Office. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. All right. Patrick, come on out. Anybody else in the van? Hands up. Come on out. Come out. Driver's side. Clear. Just drop whatever you're doing. Come out. Come out. What's going on? Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Don't reach around. Don't reach around. Just let me see your hands. Come out of the van. Okay. Go back towards the back of your van. Anybody else in the van? No. Get a handcuff. No. Get in. Get right here. What's going on, sir? Right there. Put your hands around your back. What's up in here? What's your last name? Wolf. Wolf. Yeah. Stephen Wolf. Yeah. I got my key. 92460. 92460. Yeah. 1960. This vehicle registered to you? Yes. To the officer's surprise, Stephen doesn't resist. Instead, he's calm. Almost unusually so for someone being arrested without explanation. After placing him in a patrol car, officers begin inspecting his van when something immediately stands out. Oh, come here. Watch this. Look at this. Right here. What do you see? What do you see? Isn't that the piece? There's someone to bend the back. Yeah, this is our murder suspect. Oh yeah, what's that? What's that smell? This is him. That's him. Hey, do they belong clear? When they were going through the van, I believe there was blood in there that they have yet to identify. For one thing, there was unfortunately underwear in the van that appeared to be used. There was other women's underwear in there. So, I 100% think that there are bodies out there attached to him that haven't been found or gone. There's all these, little details that too many to overlook. After securing the scene just after midnight, Stephen is transported to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office for questioning. But despite Pitcher's plan unfolding nearly perfectly, he still has a long way to go. On the way to the station, Pitcher realizes that from a jury's perspective, there's still reasonable doubt and nothing truly conclusive beyond a single piece of bumper. And with the right lawyer, he could claim he was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time, and the charges could easily be dismissed entirely. Even so, Detective Pitcher remains confident he can make Stephen break. Less than 12 hours after the murder is believed to have taken place, the two arrive at the station, and Stephen is placed inside the interrogation room. Both Pitcher and Stephen have been in these situations before, and each of them believes they have the perfect plan to outsmart the other. But before we get to that, after a long day at work, all I want is a good home-cooked meal. But finding the time to scroll through recipes, figure out what to make, and then go shop for everything, that never happens. And I end up making the same few things on repeat. But that changed when I started using HelloFresh. With over 80 global recipes to choose from every month, no two meals have to be the same. And the best part, I don't need to stress over what to make or run to the store for ingredients. Everything is already planned out, pre-portioned, and delivered straight to your door with easy-to-follow instructions. So, the cooking itself is actually enjoyable and stress-free. If you're like me and you want to make eating at home feel exciting again without the hassle, HelloFresh makes that a whole lot easier. I use it, and you should too, because nothing hits like home cooking. Go to hellofresh.com/durinsanity10fm now to get 10 free meals and a free NutriBullet Ultra Plus and a 2-in-1 compact kitchen system. A $189.99 value on your third box. Free meals applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only varies by plan. Must order the third box by May 31st, 2026. With that said, let's get back to the video. The way I interview like I'm right for a second. I think I can interview pretty much better than anybody, and I think I have a track record to prove it. I believe your interview, the most crucial part of the interview, are the first minute to 3 minutes. I never ever walk into an interview room and start talking about that night, anything even remotely close to the crime at hand. I usually try to find out what they're into. All right, Stephen, arrest right now. He's just being detained. All right, I'm just going to talk before I can talk to you. Obviously, I got if it's all right. I'll let you have this for a minute. All right, well, here's the deal. We have some questions about yesterday. Maybe you can walk me through it and help me out a little bit. Tell me about your day yesterday. Just walk me through the day if you would. Now I'm curious, when we were talking at the police car for a second, I actually come here. You said something about Vodka Cup. Yeah, I went in there today. I was looking for a place to sleep. I used to go down there and sleep in that little circle in the back, but I couldn't get in there. Not very good. That's what the damage to my car was. That's when I did that. That's when you did that? Yeah. What time was that? I almost got ST. Yeah, that's never good. What time was that? A 3:30-ish, I guess. I don't know. This afternoon. Okay, there's all sand, washed out, trees are overgrown. I said I can get back. I started back down the road. Shoo, trees. I like my man. I scratch it all up. I didn't even know I'd heard it till I got to the library and walked down. God dang it, I broke the shroud. It was already cracked anyway. But yeah, so, would you try to back out, and that's how you hit it? Yeah, no, turned around. You can't. That thing turns like a boat. I couldn't turn around. Almost got stuck. As Stephen calmly explains, he damaged the vehicle while turning around, searching for a place to sleep. But what catches Pitcher off guard is this. If Stephen is responsible, he's just placed himself at the scene of the crime for reasons Pitcher can't yet explain. So Pitcher searches for something more concrete, something incriminating. But what he finds would come as a complete surprise. Can I just get you to put your fingers out like this one? Thank you so much. Give me just 2 seconds. God, if you put just kind of the best you can, and this is going to be a lot harder, but flip them up to, hey, that was a lot easier for you than I thought it would be. What are you looking for? What's that? So, what you any kind of marks? Making sure there's no scratch. I got no marks, no scratches, no nothing. Good deal. Tattoos. I got tattoos. What you think? I know you got tattoos. Pretty good. Where'd you get them done? I got them down to prison. I don't know. I got out of bed. I was 15 years old and got in trouble. I got a home started. That's been fun. How long did you have to lay down for? 15 and a half years. 15 and a half years. Wow. It's a long, sad story with a happy ending. But oh, you're out now. I left that in there. I brought out but okay, you guys want a second? I just want to talk to my partner first. You could do whatever you need to do. Just let's get this done. Whatever we're doing here, I appreciate it. Be quiet. I know. Baffled by the lack of scratches on Steven's hands, Pitcher pauses the interrogation, fully realizing the evidence they have so far is insufficient for any breakthrough, especially after learning this is far from his first run-in with police. For now, there simply isn't enough to charge him, so Steven remains in holding. Investigators know time is against them. By tomorrow, they need something concrete, because without it, they won't be able to hold him much longer. But little do they know, Steven is already preparing a strategy for their next conversation. One he believes will let him walk away completely free. The next morning, with Steven still in custody, Detective Pitcher begins receiving tips from multiple Marathon residents, each claiming to have vital information. By approximately 10 a.m., officers are dispatched to follow up on every lead, hoping one of them holds the key to the case. And it wouldn't take long for police to realize Michelle may not have been the only target, and Steven may not have been the only suspect. Okay, my name is Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Okay, I have a cousin, man. How you doing? All right. Good. We have a little bit of information that you might be interested in. Okay. I have a cousin of mine that I just found out today was with in the mail. I guess who he was in the van. He was in the van. All right, go ahead. Hey, Greg. Hey, what happened was, I went to the house. I saw Frankie. I said, hey. Frankie goes, yeah. He goes, I was in his car the day before. Gave me a ride to I guess down the store or something like that. I said, wait a minute. I said, Frankie, did you ride? I said, you're in that van. He goes, yeah. I said, because your fingerprints are probably in that van, Frankie. And I said, if you don't go talk to somebody, they found a fingerprint. MHM, exactly. And that's not going to look good for you. Afraid of being implicated, locals begin coming forward, bringing new information about Steven. They reveal he wasn't alone the night before the murder, just hours before the woman was killed. He had been driving around town with two other people in his van, and one of them is about to show up to speak to the detective. Hey, Tracy, how are you? Good. I'm sorry. Everybody knows me here. Yeah, except the rookies, of course. Well, I don't know you. So, you were in the van with Frankie and Yep. He had come up to the library. I asked him if he would take us to go to the store so we could get something to drink. Okay, is what the hell was said. I've known him for a little while now. I never thought that he would do some off-wall, excuse my language, like this. Yeah, okay. I am shocked. I am floored. All right, to be honest with you, right? What if this happens to me? We don't want it to happen to anybody. And that's why I want everybody to come together and we can get well. Like I told one of the deputies that know me, I said, listen, I'm F to either sleep over here at the library or else I'm going to sleep on y'all's doorstep over here. Thanks to Tracy, officers are now able to piece together Steven's movements leading up to the murder. But before the detective leaves, Tracy would go on to mention one more name. Terry, a close associate of Steven. Officers immediately recognized the name. After confiscating Steven's phone, they discovered a 5-minute call with someone named Terry just hours before the murder is believed to have taken place. Looking further into his background, they also realized they've spoken to Terry before in connection to a sexual assault case, making him a potential suspect alongside Steven. Within the hour, they arrive at Terry's house. But from the moment they approach him, something feels off. And unlike the others, they would have a much more difficult time getting Terry to talk. Hi, how are you? No, I just need to talk to you about Michelle, please. Please, we know you didn't do it, man. We know you didn't do it, honey. We heard you're friends with her. That's all. And we just want to talk to her friends. That's what you're called. Did you? I know. That's all. We just want to talk to her friends, man. That's it. No. Listen, Terry. We just want to see. When was the last time you saw her, Terry? Man, come with me. No, Terry. Listen. You're not. Yeah, because I have been through this with you before when they try and get me. Terry, let me talk. You don't have I got to talk to you. I'm not saying that. But see how close to me. I don't want to talk. Terry, just listen for a second. Terry, just listen for a second, man. Listen for a second. I'm not listening. Listen. All we know is that Michigan last time Michelle was on the 17th. We're trying to track down her timeline, man. Man, if you cared about her, wouldn't you want to help us? I said, you can't tell me who I cared about and all that. I'm not talking. You got who did it. I don't even want to talk about Michelle. Bro, okay? I'm not trying to be mean, but I know how y'all do. Just like with the man when I didn't do it. So no, I ain't understanding what to say, man. When detectives question Terry about Michelle, it's clear he doesn't trust them and has no intention of cooperating. But then they change their approach, mentioning something designed to make him think twice. So, did you know Steven? I don't know nobody. Really? Why'd he call you then? I don't know. Really? Because you talked to him for like 5 minutes. On the day he murdered her. On the day when you talked to him on the day he murdered Michelle for like 5 minutes. I don't give a what you say. Okay. Like I talked to him and all this. I don't care what you say, miss. I don't really care what you say either. The phone records prove it. Talking to me. I don't care then. So what did you talk to him about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even remember talking to him. You don't remember? Listen, miss. The dude didn't like Michelle. He always threatened her. Me and him got into it over her. Okay, Michelle was a coach. If you go down underneath the back-cut bridge, whether she's supposed to got killed or whatever, I put a cross down there for her. I appreciate it. Honestly, you seem like the first one that we've talked to that's really cared about. Okay, I didn't like Brooke. Okay, because I talk what you mean, why not? He always threatened her, man. He was always threat. Every time I seen them, there was fighting, fussing. Were they in a relationship? I don't listen. Miss Michelle stayed in his van. She used to sleep with this guy in his van. I used to get mad when she used to be with him. I'm not on no streets. I changed my life after that and I talked to Wolf 5 minutes before she got killed. All that underscore, that's underscore, okay? But for anything, if I can get my hands on him, I'll hurt him. Finally, once they get Terry to talk, detectives uncover a direct connection between Steven and the victim. Michelle had allegedly been staying in Steven's van, and Terry makes it clear he didn't approve of the two being together. Now, detectives realize the man in front of them may be the key to incriminating Steven once and for all. That's all I'm saying. If you want to know the truth there, you just helped us a lot in being able to make that happen. Well, I'm still saying be the guy. She used to sleep around with this guy. Okay. This guy used needles. She told me that he tried to get her to shoot dope one time. Okay. Him and Michelle don't had altercations. That's better than just okay. Well, I found out Michelle was dead, dog. And you gonna ask my boss, man. It'd kill me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry for your loss. Okay, it's not my loss. It's just that she was loosed on the street, man. And I done been on the streets, but for Wolf, if I had a way to put my hands on him, I would. Okay, listen, and if you could look up the song, the phone records, or any log where I was talking to him, you can't see me cussing him out. Hey, you don't seriously that girl, man. Thank you. As Terry breaks down, detectives begin to believe he's telling the truth and that he is indeed one of Michelle's few genuine friends. After wrapping up the interview, they return to the station and relay their findings to Detective Pitcher, who for the past 12 hours has been sleeplessly studying Steven's profile. When he uncovers something interesting about Steven's experiences in jail, talking about his time in prison, things came out that number one, he has a hatred for women. I think it stems from his mom, but I still can't quite place it. He went into great detail with me about when his mom was sick, how she couldn't do anything, and very disturbing that a normal human being, normal person in a conversation isn't going into detail about these kind of things. That's a red flag. Obviously, there's a lot of in prison. He goes, I figured out a way around it though. I would just have I'd offer to everybody, and that way they wouldn't want to. Yeah, all of that is putting together a pretty good picture of who this is, and we have the right guy. At that point, you're kind of like, all right, this is making too much sense. And then talking about women in general would snap him a little bit, and that would cause me to have to bring him back down. But even with this unusual finding, Pitcher is only beginning to understand the twisted mind he's dealing with. What he does know for certain is that this isn't Steven's first time, and that by now, he likely has a plan he believes will let him walk free. And if Pitcher wants to get anything from him, he needs to build a bond, gain Steven's trust enough to make him confess. So that afternoon, Pitcher decides to change his approach. He asks Steve to step outside, offering him a cigarette. A small gesture, but one that would have monumental effects on the investigation. Because when the two step outside, Steven begins to break. We're gonna step outside and have a cigarette. I'm being charged with homicide, man. I know you are, and I know that seems scary as hell. I've been through it before as a child, but I remember it well. Things are different in some instances between what happened when you're 15 and what happened now. Somebody died at my hands. This difference is that somebody died, but it wasn't in my hands. Oh man, Steve, you made a mistake. I know I didn't do this. It's Steve. I know you're, oh God. Here. Okay, listen, you made a mistake. I didn't kill her. Her boyfriend killed her. What happened to her? They fought. I didn't know nobody. They were having though in the back of my bed. Okay, and they fought, and I just kept driving. Said, come on, guys. Calm down. Quiet down. I don't know their names. How did you have them back? I picked them up. Where'd you pick them up? Walmart. They wanted to come to the Keys. All right. Oh, Matt. Steve, come on then. I don't know what to do here. We gotta keep going. We gotta get this. I cannot do this, but I'm guilty of covering it up. I help him get rid of him. All right, but we can work through this. Okay, this isn't the end of the world. He walked away and he's gone. And I thought, Jesus, what am I going to do? Despite being prepared for something new, Detective Pitcher is clearly taken aback by this version of events. Steven insists he didn't kill Michelle, but admits to helping cover it up, claiming the real killer was her ex-boyfriend. At first glance, the story feels completely fabricated, a last-ditch attempt to deflect blame. But then something clicks. Pitcher recalls combing through Michelle's social media and uncovering a troubling detail. An ex-boyfriend, persistent, unwanted, and openly harassing her online. Still unconvinced and questioning why Steven is only bringing this up now. The two return to the interrogation room as Pitcher prepares to press him further. Can you do your best to describe him? You said he's got what? Go ahead. Head to toe. Everything you can tell. Long khaki shorts. I don't know what kind of tennis shoes. No socks. Okay, a flowery type of shirt. I don't know what pants he was wearing really. And scruffy. His hair doesn't touch his shoulders, but it's close. It's straight as an arrow. Got feather wave and not one. How old was he? He's younger. I think he's younger than she is. 20s, yeah. Skinny as a rail. Skinny. Tall and skinny. Black as hair. Black as you can get. Like black as that camera, right there. Where were you exactly when you picked him up? I was in my van, right? I was in my van. What location? They walked parked by a liquor store. They walked up to the front of my van by the grassy area. Okay, they were walking and said, hey, I sue you for a ride. So you let him in. They get in a car. He's front. I'm not even out of the parking lot yet, bro. Can I go in those cigarettes? Yeah, you got a pack. I was at the, where the hurricane washed out the road, where it's a long strip after you get out of it. Right by and yeah, long key up in there. Okay, somewhere in there. But the long stretch got washed by the road, and at nighttime the lights are all red. Yep, you know what I'm talking about? That's where he came back up in my front seat, said, bro, she's dead. All the way. He didn't say I killed her. He just said, she's dead. Okay, what? Bro, she's dead. My brain was thinking, if she's really dead, I'm really call police. Yeah, but he's right there next to me. Call the police. And I didn't pick up the phone, and I pulled down in there. I can't go very far. You said it was your idea for vodka. I think I gotta get rid of this. I gotta get rid of both of them. But I gotta get her out of here now. And then he jumped out. He pulled the door open. He pulled her out. I heard her actually dead. Oh, she hit the ground, I think. Yeah, I remember thinking, oh, Jesus, that's not good. And I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, man. And I called the police. I could have backed over, but I couldn't get out. They're coming back on the phone and try to take my I run his ass over called you right then. I should have called you as soon as he got out of bed. Give me 1 second. Okay. Despite Steven's emotional retelling, his description of the killer doesn't match the ex-boyfriend. The man detectives had identified was older with short gray hair and a heavy build. But Steven describes someone completely different. Younger, slim, with pinch-straight black hair. And that's not all. Something major has just taken place outside the interrogation room. The full forensic examination of the van is complete, and the findings are even more disturbing than expected. Now we have the search warrant to the van. They start going in it, and immediately there are a lot of toys. A lot of homemade toys. We knew sheets were missing, that kind of thing. Like we were missing a lot of evidence. There's also, we had to start cutting out he had homemade bed in there too. So we had to cut out the mattress of the floor. There was blood on not a ton, but a little bit of blood on some of that, that's big evidence. We need it. Alongside what Pitcher has just revealed, investigators uncover even more disturbing evidence. Strands of blonde hair matching the victim's women's underwear in a child's swimsuit. And more concerning still, the only DNA found belongs to Stephen and the victim. This is far more incriminating and far more convincing than anything Stephen has told them. So Pitcher prepares to confront him with the evidence. And with nowhere left to shift the blame, his reaction would say, all right, I'm just going to be flat out honest and keep on messed up. This is inside the ring. That's our victim's hair. Steve, no, this is the victim's underwear. No, it's not. What is it? And Steve, you miss a blood. You missed under I didn't do that. You missed cleaning up the blood on the coaching under the sheet. Steve, I'm not wanting to. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. This is your chance to be honest. Is there something? I haven't honest. That's not a big concern. It's not her panties. Well, tell me about those panties. I got, oh Jesus. You got to tell them. I tell you who's out there. You're going to tell them, and then they're going to know that happened. Steve, right now you're looking at murder. You get there, Susan. They become Susan's door. Susan? That's Jerry's wife. Why do you have them sometimes? I put them once, and they were dirty, and I put them in there. Okay. And the hair? I don't have no idea. And the blood under there? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. There's no blood in there that I'm worried about. I tell you there's blood. I mean, this is overtime. Okay. So now I'm not this prime. I'm not primary. I'm a suspect. He said, I don't know. Okay, Steve, I'm going to put this as bluntly as I can. I'm going to put this very harshly. You murdered her. I did not. I did not. This shift in the detective's demeanor clearly catches Stephen off guard. Up until now, he believed Pitcher was someone he could trust. More than that, Pitcher believes the bond between them has gone beyond a typical detective-suspect relationship. One of the disturbing parts of the interview, which this just made minded, is I put my hand on his shoulder at one point, like one of the phrases I use with him a lot, that, once we had that real comfortable level, was, this isn't an if-type situation. This is I need your why, what happened, like you're obviously a good person. Why did this happen to you? And so at one point, he was getting worked up. Sad wise that he knew he was in trouble, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and he goes, yeah, I don't let people put their hand on my shoulder because of prison. And so I immediately took it off and said, I'm sorry. He says, no, I like it when you do it. And I was like, that was one of the key moments. He's like, okay, well, he's now looking at us being in a relationship. He has feelings for me in terms of that. He was putting me in his mind in an awkward position to have to testify. I don't know if Parton thought that I had feelings for him and that he was putting me in an awkward position, making me testify against him. I've never even come close to having anything like that happen before. As Pitcher explains, this unusually strong bond is both beneficial and detrimental to the investigation. Although Stephen appears to want to be honest, he seems afraid of hurting Pitcher's feelings. But unbeknownst to Stephen, that bond is entirely one-sided because Pitcher is about to confront him with even more evidence he failed to cover up. Can you explain the blood on the cushion under the sheet? No, my leg yesterday. That's not going to cut it. I know. So, I'm going to go to jail for homicide. I will choke to stay attorney, but as of right now, I'm afraid that's most OGs. Guys, I'm not the guy. What? Okay, can I let's backtrack. I just understand this doesn't look good, because you were the crime scene. We have you at the crime scene because you wrecked. Yeah, and then you didn't report the wreck, but it was minor damage. I get that visually there. Then we have you come into a library using a dumpster where there's blood in the dumpster, and you told me you put trash there. Yeah, and then you search your van, which you say nobody has been in that van besides Tracy and Charlie. And that was a couple days ago, and the hair doesn't match that person. I don't know what you guys are talking about apparently. All these speed in advance because I came back down here. Sorry, I swear. And the worst part about it is that you're convinced that it's me. What is that? More panties in my van. Let me see that again. Her bikini bottoms. Those are Susan too. What nightmare. I wouldn't worry at all about Susan too. Much for her and Liv. My guess is you'll probably never see her again. To Stephen's surprise, on the night he was found, officers recovered a bloody shirt that had been disposed of nearby. And despite it all, Stephen would continue to deny that he had killed Michelle. At this point, it doesn't matter. They don't need a confession because the final and most disturbing piece of the puzzle has just come to light. When they were going through the van, there were some of the toys were probably 8 in to 12 in diameter. So it was again very, very horrific. And I think they ended up finding her DNA on a couple of those. And that's probably what helped to cause her to bleed out. The strangulation was probably most likely not what killed her, but that he would strangle her, let her in and out of just torture is the best way to describe it. Just awful. Based on the crime scene and the horrific autopsy findings. In 2023, Stephen Matthew Wolfe was convicted of first-degree murder, 2 counts of battery, and tampering with evidence. And in the end, he was given the only fitting sentence for his crimes. That's I think, what did him in. That's that whole situation where he knows, even in the interview, he brings up the death penalty, and that I'm going to get the death penalty for this. Yeah. So maybe the first time in Florida, if not, it's only been 1 or other 2 times where every member of the jury believes he should get the death penalty. Even though, yes, obviously he's a very horrible person. It's also always weird when you know that it was your testimony and your doing that is going to end this man's life. So, it's a mixed bag in that sense. Even the things like the touch on the shoulder, as dumb as it sounds, that to him, that's, oh, this guy cares about me, you know? He really does like me. As crazy as that is. You mentioned that there could be more victims tied to this guy. Do you personally think that he could be like a serial killer with more unsolved murders connected to him? So I 100% think I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that there are bodies out there attached to him that either haven't been found or gone. He was a homeless guy who lived in this van. And you have long periods where you can't even say where he's at. He was skeptical and telling us other locations kind of thing. Everything just pointed, we even had, when they were going through the van, I believe there was blood in there that they have yet to identify, for one thing. That didn't come back to either one of them. There was unfortunately underwear in the van that appeared to be used. There was other women's underwear in there. Now, granted, he had stolen underwear that we found out from somebody else. But there's all these, little details that too many to overlook. As Pitcher finishes recounting one of the most disturbing cases of his career, 6 years after Michelle's murder, he is now retired. But the weight of what he uncovered leaves behind questions that were never fully answered. In terms of this type of crime and the brutality, this one above all the rest, and I've definitely had some interesting ones in my career. I'm in the process of writing a book. Actually, I did undercover work that I could say legitimately nobody else has done. First year, I spent 2 years with the mob, and then was asked to infiltrate a domestic terror group. Had everything from being interrogated for 8 hours to shooting with a psychopath who I was positive was going to kill me one day, and who also happened to be my best friend and hated police more than anybody. But I did prevent the bombing credited with saving over 100,000 lives. Out of all the complex investigations Detective Pitcher worked on, Stephen's case continues to linger. And as of late April 2026, Stephen remains on Florida's death row, refusing to tell Pitcher whether there are any other victims. And with an execution warrant potentially right around the corner, that answer may die with him. And yet, even after the verdict, even after the sentence, even after the jury, unanimous and unbroken, looked Stephen Matthew Wolfe in the eye and handed him death, the case never truly closed. Because cases like this, one, don't close. They settle, like dust after a storm, like sediment at the bottom of something dark and deep. They settle, and they stay. Detective Pitcher carried it home with him every night for years. It followed him into retirement like a shadow that never quite matched the light. And the real reason this case haunted him above all the others wasn't just what Stephen Wolfe did. It was what Stephen Wolfe was. To understand what happened to Michelle, To truly understand the horror of it, you first have to understand the man who did it. Not excuse him, not sympathize with him, not humanize him in any way that softens the edges of what he chose to do, but understand him, because monsters don't fall from the sky. They are built, piece by piece, choice by choice. And in many cases, Stephen Wolf's case included, they spend years telling the world exactly what they are before anyone chooses to listen. Stephen Matthew Wolf was not a man who appeared violent on the surface. That was, in many ways, the most dangerous thing about him. He was transient, nomadic, a man who existed in the margins of society, living out of a van, moving from place to place, never staying long enough to leave a traceable footprint. To the average person passing him on the street, he might have looked like any other down-on-his-luck individual trying to survive. Maybe you'd feel sorry for him. Maybe you'd look away. Maybe, if you were unlucky, you'd engage. That was the trap. Forensic psychologists who study men like Stephen Wolf often point to a very specific profile, one that doesn't fit the Hollywood image of a serial predator. No surgical precision, no meticulous planning displayed openly, no dramatic manifesto. Instead, what you find is something far more common and far more terrifying. Opportunistic sadism wrapped in a shell of social performance. Wolf knew how to be likable. That matters more than people realize. Detective Pitcher himself noted it. The way Wolf responded to warmth. The way a hand on the shoulder in an interrogation room lit something up behind his eyes. The way he clung to the idea that the detective liked him, cared about him. That wasn't weakness. That was the engine of the whole thing. People who are capable of what Stephen Wolf did to Michelle. The prolonged torture, the deliberate cycling of consciousness, the strangulation used not to kill, but to control. These are not people who lack emotion. They are people who have learned to use emotional connection as a weapon. They understand intimacy. They understand trust. They understand exactly how much damage you can do to a person when they believe, even for a moment, that you are safe. The medical examiner's findings told a story that the crime scene alone could not. What was done to Michelle wasn't impulsive. Crimes of passion, the kind that happen in moments of blinding rage, look different. They are explosive, brief. They leave a different kind of evidence. What the autopsy revealed was something sustained, something patient. The strangulation was repeated, not fatal, not designed to be, but used as a tool, a mechanism of dominance, bringing a person to the edge of unconsciousness and pulling them back. Again and again. It is a form of torture that forensic experts describe as one of the most psychologically devastating things that can be inflicted on another human being, because it weaponizes the body's most primal fear, the fear of no air, the fear of the darkness behind the eyes, the fear that this time, they won't let you back. And then they do, and then they do it again. The blood loss Michelle suffered, the factor that the medical examiner identified as the probable cause of death, spoke to the duration of what she endured. This was not over quickly. That fact alone, that single forensic truth, is what elevated this case above so many others in Detective Pitcher's career. He had seen violence. He had seen depravity. But duration changes everything. Duration means a human being had to live through every second of it. Duration means there was time, real time, where everything could have stopped, where a choice could have been made. Stephen Wolf made his choice over and over again for as long as it lasted. Wolf had been living out of his van for a significant stretch of time before Michelle crossed his path. And the van, once investigators were able to process it properly, became one of the most disturbing chapters of an already disturbing investigation. A vehicle, to most people, is transport. To Stephen Wolf, it was a world. It was home and hiding place, and investigators came to believe something else entirely. Inside, among the debris of a transient life, they found things that couldn't be explained away. Blood, unidentified, not matching either known victim. That single fact sits in the record like a stone that nobody can move, because unidentified blood in the van of a convicted torturer and murderer doesn't suggest innocence. It suggests questions that haven't been answered. It suggests names that may never be attached to a face. There was women's underwear. More than one pair. Some explained. Investigators later confirmed Wolf had stolen undergarments from at least one other person, a detail that speaks to its own disturbing psychology, but not all of it explained. Not cleanly, not in a way that closes the loop. And that's the thing about a man who lives in a van and moves constantly across a state or across states. There are gaps, long stretches of time where nobody can account for where he was or who he encountered. Weeks, months, open road and no witnesses. Detective Pitcher was direct about what he believes, that he would be willing to bet a lot of money that there are bodies out there attached to Wolf that either haven't been found or gone entirely. That's not a dramatic statement made for effect. That is a career investigator, a man who spent years undercover with a mob, who infiltrated a domestic terror cell, who has seen things that most people will never come close to, telling you, plainly, what his gut and his evidence and his experience are all pointing toward. There are other victims. We just don't know their names yet. The psychology of the transient predator is something law enforcement has grappled with for decades. It is, in many ways, the most difficult category of violent offender to track. Not because they are more intelligent than other killers, but because the structure of their lives resists the structure of investigation. Standard investigative work builds outward from a fixed point. A home address, a workplace, a social circle. These are the anchors that allow detectives to trace movement, establish timelines, and identify patterns. Take those away, and you take away the map. A man who lives in a van has no fixed point. His social circle is whoever he encounters on a given day. His timeline is a blur of gas stations, parking lots, rest stops, and faces that never get associated with a name in any database. It is, whether by design or simply by circumstance, the perfect cover. And the question that investigators could never fully answer, the question that may never be answered, is how much of Stephen Wolf's transient lifestyle was intentional, how much of it was survival, and how much of it was strategy. In the interview room, Wolf demonstrated something that forensic psychologists call situational awareness beyond what you would expect from someone of his background and circumstances. He raised the death penalty himself, unprompted. He understood, at some level, the gravity of what he was being questioned about, and he understood how to navigate a conversation in ways that serve his interests. That's not nothing. That's a man who has thought about consequences, who has at some point considered what exposure looks like and how to minimize it. Whether he applied that same calculus before other crimes, in other places, with other victims, is something that only Stephen Wolf knows. And he isn't talking. Florida's death row is a specific kind of silence. Union Correctional Institution, Rayford, Florida. It sits in the northeastern part of the state. Flat land, pine trees, a sky that goes on forever in every direction. The men inside exist in a kind of suspended time. They eat, they sleep, they wait. Some of them file appeals that take years to resolve. Some of them find religion. Some of them continue, even from inside those walls, to play games with investigators who still want answers. Stephen Matthew Wolf arrived on death row following one of the most decisive jury verdicts in recent Florida history. Every single member of the jury voted for death. Not a split, not a compromise. Everyone. In the state of Florida, that kind of unanimity is rare. The path from sentencing to execution is long, measured in years, sometimes in decades, tangled in appeals, in legal proceedings, in the grinding machinery of a justice system that moves slowly even when the facts of a case are clear. For the families of victims, for the people who sat in that courtroom and listened to what was done to their loved one, that slowness is its own kind of punishment. Justice was delivered in the verdict room. But the finality of it, the moment when Stephen Wolf is no longer alive and consuming resources and filing paperwork and existing in the world, that can still be years away. And in the meantime, there is the question. Always the question. Are there others? Pitcher reached out to Wolf after his retirement. He asked him directly. He used every tool that a career's worth of reading people had given him. He appealed to the relationship, the strange, constructed, deliberately manufactured warmth that had served as the backbone of the entire interrogation strategy. Wolf, from his cell on death row, gave him nothing. Not a name, not a location, not a hint, just silence or deflection, or the same flat refusal that investigators have encountered from men like him before. Men who understand that information is the last form of power they have, and who guard it accordingly. There's a specific kind of cruelty in that silence. It is not passive. It is not indifference. It is a choice made every day in every communication to keep people in the dark, to let families of the potentially unaccounted for go on not knowing, to protect whatever secrets are buried in those long stretches of empty Florida road. And as of late April 2026, Stephen Matthew Wolf remains on death row. An execution warrant could come at any time. Florida has been accelerating its death row proceedings in recent years. The window for appeals is narrowing, and the machinery is beginning to turn faster. When that warrant is signed, when the execution is carried out, whatever Stephen Wolf knows goes with him. Every name, every location, every roadside stop where something happened that was never reported because the person it happened to either didn't survive or didn't know who to call. Gone. Before all of this, before the van, before the autopsy, before the trial, before the death sentence, there was just a person. Michelle, a real person who woke up on ordinary days and made ordinary plans and existed in the world the way all of us do, without knowing that there was a man living out of a van who would one day cross her path. That's the thing true crime can sometimes lose in the details, the forensics, the psychology, the procedural machinery of justice. It can lose her. Michelle did not deserve what happened to her. Not a single second of it. And the fact that her death ultimately led to the conviction of a man who may have done this before. The fact that the investigation carried her case all the way to a unanimous death sentence. None of that erases what she suffered. None of it gives back what was taken. But it matters that it was pursued. That detective Pitcher and his team refused to let it go cold. That 12 people sat in a room and heard the truth and responded to it without flinching. Michelle mattered. She still does. Pitcher is writing a book. He mentioned it almost offhandedly, the way people mention things that have been living in them for a long time and finally found a way out. 2 years undercover with a mob. An infiltration of a domestic terror group. 8 hours of interrogation at gunpoint. A psychopath who was also his closest friend and who he was certain, on more than one occasion, was going to kill him. A bombing plot he helped prevent. Over 100,000 lives that continued because of what he did. By any measure, that is an extraordinary life. The kind of life that fills books and long conversations where nobody quite believes you until you show them the documentation. And yet, when asked which case sits heaviest, it isn't the mob. It isn't the terror cell. It isn't the explosion that never happened. It's Michelle. It's the van, the unidentified blood, the women's underwear, the long gaps in the timeline that nobody can account for. The silence from a cell in Rayford where a man who knows things is choosing every single day not to say them. Some cases end in courtrooms. Some end in execution chambers. Some, the ones that stay with detectives long after the badge is turned in and the files are boxed up, never really end at all. They just go quiet. And quiet, in a case like this one, is the most unsettling sound there is. Because somewhere out there, on some stretch of forgotten road, in some unmarked place that only one man knows, there may be someone who is still waiting to be found. Still waiting for someone to say their name. Still waiting to matter.